Kosovo's stability is of interest to the United States because the United States' interests are in Europe. And Europe remains a primary area of strategic importance to the United States. So that furthering and seeing this process continue on in the development of Kosovo for the building of a secure, prosperous region in Europe is critical to the United States.
Success is what you actually see on the ground. And if you look at the situation 10 years ago in Kosovo, it's vastly different. There's been remarkable progress. The police structure has been well handled, I would say, in Kosovo, and developing of a multi-ethnic police force, professional force, a force that I must say that continues to need assistance as well, though, like any developing entity. For economic development to occur, you have to be looking at questions of regional cooperation and development. And trade actually is not just simply the question of free trade moving back and forth, but by having free trade, particularly when you're dealing with small entities, that's an important point in terms of interest for actual investors in those places. If an investor is going to come in and build a factory or take over a factory in a region, it's going to want to know how it's going to be able to export its goods, how it's going to be able to bring in its goods, what are the cost factors involved in that. That is where these kinds of regional arrangements such as this are critical to that. The role at this particular moment of UNMIK and the UN in these processes is not one of taking charge, not one of ordering, not one of saying. Our role is much more of facilitation, being the grease in the wheel that allows, while there are these political differences over questions of status, over recognition, and so forth, nevertheless allowing the practical things to try to move forward. And I think it's the practical issues which are most important now to everyday people's lives in Kosovo and in the region in which we're focusing in on. The mission will continue as long as it is really needed and the international community sees it as being needed. And the respect that we have, despite some political issues at times, is not matched, frankly, by anyone. I take great personal pleasure in saying that, and great deep respect for the UN organization as an institution, being able to develop that kind of capability in Kosovo. I think peacekeeping for the U.S., if you look at it, it's a way for the U.S. to be able to play a very useful role in a multilateral situation with partners who have similar goals and visions for the future, to resolve issues of great difficulty, issues that are emotional, issues that are affect people's ability to live, just that they can thrive. One of the most interesting things of working at a UN peacekeeping organization is that it brings people from all different corners of the world together for a common aim to help resolve a question. But personally, as an American, one of the things that in this context, the respect that people in that UN mission have for Americans and Americans' ability to affect positive changes is tremendous. And that has multiplier effects elsewhere as we try to deal with other questions of the world. It shouldn't be underestimated.